Flashing lights on the dance floor. In it rain, something's spinning some. My hair is done, my fingernails too. They don't want this swag in college football. We need more diversity in head coaching in college football. Straight up. This shit is whack. It's only 15. I repeat, it's only 15 so-called black men that are head coaches in college football, in D1 college football. Power 5 D1. It's 133 schools like button, in D1 football that can play on the Power 5 level, that can compete for a championship, and only 15 of those jobs, those head coaching jobs, are covered by black men. That's some bullshit. And I'm really sick and tired of hearing and going in the comment section and going back and forth with so-called white people who seem like they got a problem with this. Because one thing that white people might try to act as if the black man can't coach, or we ain't good enough, or we ain't this, we ain't that. The whole time, I'm not saying white people can't coach. All I'm saying is we need a more diverse playing field when it comes to coaching. There are plenty more black men that can coach on the same level as these white folks. Straight up. It need to be more diverse. Some of the worst coaches ever. Up there in that top right-hand corner, that is Watson Brown. He just got done coaching in 2015. He coached at UAB. He coached at a lot of different schools, but he is deemed as the worst coach in college football history. At 136 and 211, he is one of the only coaches with more than 200 losses. And he's a white guy. But there is other people on the list like Ronald Beard, Hensley Sappington. These are coaches that never won a game. Look at Wilbur Jamerson, Howard McChesney. These are white men and black men who are deemed as some of the worst college coaches ever because they never won a game. They never won no games. They really were not successful coaching. And I put that on there just to let people know that it's not about can they coach or can they handle the job, can they coach and stuff. It's not about that, because there are just as many white coaches who tank as it is black coaches. We got to understand that. We just got to even this playing field so we can get more coaches like this. Eddie Robinson. Rest in peace, Mr. Robinson. Great coach, one of the GOATs. Actually passed away in 2017. Coached at Grambling for 56 years, 1941 to 1997. His coaching career was 408 and 165. He coached on the HBCU level, but a lot of people might say, oh, it wasn't no competition down there. But this is the HBCU level during its prime. A lot of your NFL Hall of Fame players, black players, come out of these HBCU teams, come out of this era when he was coaching. He had way more wins than Bear Bryant. Well, I ain't going to say way, but he had almost about 100 more wins than Bryant. More wins than Nick Saban. He got more wins than your favorite coach. But at the same time, he coached for 56 years. Now, let me clear this up. If Nick Saban and Bear Bryant and Kirby Smart, if these coaches coached for 56 years, I'm pretty sure Nick Saban have 1,000 wins. But at the same time, in order to win games, it takes a type of mentality. You have to know what you're doing. You have to do a good job in order to get these wins. And Eddie Robinson was one of them guys that could get the job done. He was a true winner. And I feel like he could have coached anywhere with any guys. These are the 7. The NCAA Power 5 football level has 7 American head coaches or black head coaches out of the 69 Power 5 schools that can play and compete on the Power 5 level. There's only 7 head coaches. Fran Brown, Syracuse; James Franklin, Penn State; Mike Locksley, Maryland; Marcus Freeman, Notre Dame; Tony Elliott, Virginia; Coach Prime out there in Colorado; and Ryan Walters at Purdue. These are your only 7 Power 5 real American coaches or black coaches, and 2 are mixed. I don't know what Marcus Freeman is. I'm not trying to spit on nobody's bloodline, nothing like that. But I'm not sure if he's mixed or not. But I know James Franklin is, and I think Ryan Walters might be. But at the same time, these are brothers. These are black men, and they are the only 7 on the Power 5 level that can compete for a so to speak, a Power 5 conference, and most of them in the Big Ten. Shout out to the Big Ten. Shout out to the Big Ten. Straight up, shout out to the Big Ten. for having at least for at least trying to get these guys into the even playing field. Cause it's about what 13, 14 teams in the Big Ten, something like that, and we got one, two, three, four. We got four coaches, so we trying to get in there. So shout out to the Big Ten. The thing about this shit is the SEC ain't shit, cause they barely keep a black coach. Why is that? Why is it that the SEC don't like too many black coaches? Is it that they unsuccessful? They can't coach? Let's look at Cadillac Williams, for instance. Offensive graduate assistant at West Georgia. Shout out to West Georgia University. My cousin out there right now. They going D1. They gonna be the business coming up. Shout out to West Georgia. He was also a running back coach at IMG, which is big. Auburn running back coach from 2019 until this year. He was just released by Coach Freeze. They kind of separated, went their separate ways. I don't know what's going on with the relationship, but I know Cadillac is a good guy, and wherever he land, he's gonna be an impact in recruiting and everything, especially with the running backs. But as far as being a head coach, I really truly feel if Cadillac gets some more years under his belt coordinating, he can turn out to be a great head coach, man. Straight up. Let's look at his resume as a head coach. Took this loss to Mississippi State, 39-33. A very close game. They was ranked 15 at the time. He brought them guys out there to play for real. I remember that game. It was a good game. Got that win against Western Kentucky, 41-17. Got that win, a big win against Texas A&M, 13-10. Auburn needed that win that year too. And then they played Alabama, and Alabama put it on them. But that was a closer game than you think. Cadillac really brought those guys out there motivated, and they was ready to play. They actually gave Bama a good game until the end. Alabama kind of pulled away at the end of that game. But at the same time, I really feel like Cadillac can go anywhere and coach. And I heard that he they let him go from Auburn, but I heard he might sneak over and go to Bama and coach their running back. But me personally, being an Auburn fan, I don't see that happening at all. We don't fuck with Bama like that. So Cadillac might end up at Colorado. He might end up at Georgia. He might end up at Syracuse. You never know. We finna see what happens, because this is where Elijah Robinson is now. Now, if y'all Texas A&M fans, you remember Elijah Robinson. They gave him an intern shot too. He went 1-2 during his time with a win over Abilene Christian, which is that's a given. But they lost to LSU and lost to Oklahoma State, which were some pretty tough games for him. But at the same time, if Elijah Robinson can get in somewhere and get settled and get some more years in coordinating and working towards becoming a head coach, I think one day he'll be able to take over one of these teams and be great too. Because we definitely need a more diverse playing field when it comes to black coaches. There's no reason why you should look up 133 Power 5 schools and only see 15 black coaches. That's ridiculous. When majority of the players for the last 100 years, majority of the players been black kids. Been us. And like I said, this is no shade at white coaches. This is not saying they can't coach. I'm not saying no shit like that. What I'm saying is we need a more diverse playing field when it comes to coaches. I know there are way more black coaches out here who just don't get the opportunity. It's a lot of black coaches out here who feel like they feel like they not supposed to get the opportunity. So they don't pursue it. They don't apply for it. They don't call in for it. They feel like, oh, they ain't gonna give it to a brother. It's a lot of weak-minded men that are in positions that need to man up. Step up to the plate. Put some pressure on these institutions. Put some pressure on these schools and these teams to give you the job. And then when you go in, do your thing. Don't go in shaky and trying to please people and trying to do the right thing because so-and-so looking over your shoulder. Go in there, shake the room, and do it your way. The Coach Prime way. Because you see how he did. He come in, shake the room, set his own standard. He got a lot of work to do too. But at the same time, you have to come in and shake the room as a brother. Because off the rip, they already looking at you crazy anyway. Like I said, we've been looked down on as niggas and black African Negro slaves for so long. Getting in positions of power make people uncomfortable. They don't really trust you. It's like, oh, I'm gonna put him in lead, but oh no, he is a slave now. They ignorant now. You see what I'm saying? This ignorance and this nigger shit has been attached to us so long that we can't even have enough confidence to praise our people enough to get them in these positions of power. Because you will have black folks, black young players who would rather pick a white coach over a brother. All because of the traditional stereotypes that been put on us. It's time for all that shit to stop. It's time for all these institutions to stop looking and stereotyping black men. Cause I was hearing, I was watching a little video where Jordan Seaton was talking about how these D1 coaches was talking down on Dion. Now at the same time, let y'all know something. Y'all done heard me be critical about Dion, but I ain't never talked down on Dion and what he's doing. I've been real critical about the favoritism. I've said they gonna lose some games. They gonna do this. You know, it's gonna be a shaky season. But I ain't never finna tell no young man not to go up there because he trying to turn you into a rapper, or he up there turning you into a thug, or that is that racist bigotry that these white people have in their mind. These racial stereotypes that they have in their mind of us, all because they think we some black nigga African slaves. So if you think you a black nigga African slave, nobody's gonna take you serious when it comes to power or doing anything. So if Coach Prime or any, like I said, if they want to promote the rappers and that culture, this type of shit is gonna be attached to these stereotypes and what these people thinking. Y'all have to understand that, even though it's bogus, even though it's fucked up. But if y'all prancing around with rappers and prancing around with movie stars and all this and Hollywood shit, that's what these coaches gonna throw in your face. Just like Dan Lanning punk ass out there in Oregon. He tried to come at Dion hard because like I said, they promoting the rappers. They got people on the sideline. So it's like, are y'all building a football team or y'all just building a club atmosphere? You know what I'm saying? That's why they telling Jordan C shit like that. Like, oh man, you trying to go be a rapper? What you want to do? You trying to get some more bitches or something? Like, I can only imagine the racist, fucked up thoughts that a lot of y'all white people have about our black coaches. But at the same time, Dan Lanning, when he played against, if y'all remember, Dan Lanning was on the sideline dapping his coaches up, running fake punts. I mean, I'm trying to run the score up. They was up what 30-0 at halftime. He thought, oh, we ain't done yet, and then came out, didn't score another touchdown. Punk ass, what you get? But he was just out there dabbing. He just you can tell that Dan Lanning, somewhere deep down inside of him, he got some racism in there. Cause he was real jealous in that game. He didn't like the fact that Colorado was undefeated. Colorado was the biggest team in college football at that time. Well, nobody talking about Oregon, and still ain't talking about Oregon. They got a good team coming in now, but Dan Lanning really didn't like the fact that Dion had all that buzz, Coach Prime had all that buzz for them guys, and they was winning. He didn't like that shit. So he made sure he told his guys the right thing to go out here and feel that same animosity that he had towards Coach Prime, and they went out there and beat the shit out of Colorado. Which, it's duality in everything. That's good coaching. That's how you motivate your guys. But through that, the way you did it, I seen your racism. I seen your racism because you ain't finna do no white coach like that. You ain't finna do all that with no. But at the same time, shout out to Nick Saban. Even though you was hating on Prime and shit too. You was talking a lot of shit too. But I remember when Cadillac Williams was coaching against Bama. Nick Saban didn't try to run up the score and disrespect Cadillac Williams. It was a whole different scene. He wasn't over there dapping his coordinators up. It was football. We just kept it football. Dan Lanning had some personal shit against Dion. The same way these coaches telling Jordan Seaton, hey, what you want to be a rapper? That's the way Dan Lanning feel about Coach Prime. He don't respect his operation at all. So I wish they would have put Colorado back on the schedule and seen each other. You know what I'm saying? Seeing each other again, because that right there would have been a hell of a game. I hope they fuck around in some kind of way. This would be crazy. Some kind of way, Oregon and Colorado end up in a bowl game next season. Man, that'll be the most watched game in college football history, because everybody remember what happened last year. You got to remember when Colorado was on their run last year, everybody was watching them in that Oregon game. Everybody watched that Oregon USC game, Colorado State. Everybody watched those games. Everybody, TCU. So if a bowl game pop up after this next season and Colorado do well, and they see Oregon and Oregon slip up and don't make the playoffs or something, or if they both make the playoffs and they fuck around and see each other first round or in a bowl game or something, man, that game gonna be nasty. That game gonna be nasty. It's gonna be some shit in that one, boy. Travis and them gonna go clean off. I already know. Shadur gonna try to go off, but Oregon gonna try to go off too, cause Dan Lanning gonna have them motherfuckers ready. But y'all ain't got Bo and all that shit this time. It's gonna get real out there. But that's a matchup I would look forward to see. And also Syracuse, I want to see Syracuse do their thing. But I would also love to see like coaches like Ray Lewis, like a player like Ray Lewis step into the coaching field. I think Ray Lewis would be a great coach, man. The way he speak, the way he motivate himself and his teammates, the way he go about his business. I think Ray Lewis will be a great coach on the college football level. Straight up. Ed Reed, I believe he'll be a great coach. I believe a lot of these, especially defensive guys, like Julius Peppers and all these guys, Terrell Suggs, Takeo Spikes, a lot of these defensive guys would be great coaches. I think I still speak on Mike Tomlin coming down to coaching in the on the college football level, because I really feel like, man, if you look across the board, you got 133 schools. It should be at least 50 of them schools that got a black coach. Straight up, in this day and age. Because the old traditional racism is done. We can't sit here and act like racism wasn't going on strong in the 20s and 30s and 40s and 50s and 60s. So it's been a tradition of elders growing up and young guys and coaches coming up in the game. And that's all we seeing is white coaches in the field. So subconsciously, we think that's just for y'all. This is the same sickness we got when it comes to power, politics in this country. Corporation, being owners, being entrepreneurs, being movers and shakers. This is the same sickness we got. It's showing up in our coaching and everything. We feel like being in control or being on top or being in power is only for white people. Like let the white people do that. And a lot of y'all white people feel like that too, which is fucked up. And if you one of them white folks who don't feel like that, who agree with what I'm saying, then I salute to you, because you got some sense. You understand. And I'm not saying white coaches just need to stop coaching. No. Nick Saban, them, Kirby Smart, all these guys and shit, man, they great coaches. They need to stay where they at. And Saban, damn near the greatest to do it. That man ran the SEC for years. I ain't taking none of that from them guys. All I'm saying is we need to spread this shit out, even the playing field a little bit. Because there's no way you could tell me that there's not as many black coaches that can coach on the scale as these white men too. And that goes for high school. That goes for Pop Warner. I mean, I see coaches all over the place, man. I mean, it's no reason why these institutions and colleges in the NCAA are not going to reach out more to black coaches now. Because who are your Hall of Famers? Who are all of your great players? Who are all of your All-Americans? Most of your Heisman winners. I mean, you gotta stop. We gotta stop the fuck shit. Most of the greats and great minds in football are black men. Why not put them in coaching positions? I think it'll make the game better. I think it'll evolve the game. It's gonna make just imagine a Ray Lewis team. Just imagine a Ray Lewis team in college football. They gonna play together. They gonna play defense. I would love to watch that defense. And I don't know what's going on with Warren Sapp. I heard somebody talking about Coach Prime used him and kind of kicked him to the side. So I don't know what's going on with that. If anybody knows what's going on with that, leave a comment. Let me know what's going on with that, because I ain't really seen nothing on it. They keeping a lot of shit hush-hush up there in Colorado. But at the same time, college football, NCAA, Power 5 football, we need a more diverse impact on these young college players going into their life, going into their futures. They need to see more of our men in charge and leadership and leading them passionately in what they do and what they love. And that's not, like I said, it's not taking nothing from no other people. All I'm saying is we need a more diverse playing field, coaching field in this NCAA. Straight up. P.S.A. Black coaches, step up. High school coaches, step up. Pop Warner coaches, step up. Go get your degrees. Go get your whatever certification you need. Step up. Get up here. In the next 10 years, we should see a flux of I mean, black coaches coming in droves trying to get in this NCAA and coach. P.S.A, man. I'm out of here.